Hey everyone, welcome to Adventures in Everyday Cooking, where every day can be an adventure in your kitchen. My name is Heather, and today we are reviewing TasteBuds. Now, if you've never heard of TasteBuds before, it is Pampered Chef's subscription to 3 seasonings a month, 3 recipes, shows up right to your door. And you guys, I have some thoughts on this. So I thought I would take a month, which happens to be June. I wanted to do it earlier than June, but I got the bug, and so then I didn't get it done. So now we're into July, and oh well, I still want to review this because this is my first experience with it. I really want to give this to newlyweds who want to develop their recipe repertoire, because I think this is a great way to introduce them to new seasonings, new techniques of cooking, and just Pampered Chef in general. So I really have some specific people in mind as I review this, and I'm gonna give you my honest thoughts as I review. So I'm gonna do 3 videos, and it's gonna be a week-long series. I'm gonna do one on Monday, well that's today. I'm gonna do one on Wednesday, and I'm gonna do one on Friday. That's 3 videos in a week. Boy, are you up for a treat. So when you subscribe to this, this is how it comes. Upside down. It doesn't come upside down. This is how it comes. It comes in a nice little package. So inside you have 3 recipe cards for your 3 meals that you're going to make this month. A little reminder card about what you're going to make this month, which, you know, you could stick it on your refrigerator or on your counter so that you know what you are doing for the month. And then you get 3 exclusive Pampered Chef seasonings. And what's nice about this is there's more seasonings in here than the recipe calls for. So you will get to use it again in another way. In fact, on the back of this card, it says more great ways to use this month's seasonings. So there are some great ways on there. And so far, I'm liking what I see. On the backs of the cards, they have all of the ingredients and the basic instructions, and then they have some easy change-up ideas. The front of the cards are absolutely gorgeous. And so I'm gonna go over what we're gonna do here in these next 3 recipes. We have baked fish in foil, which serves for prep time 10 minutes, total time 35 minutes. We have lemon garlic chicken kebabs, serve 6, prep time 15 minutes, total time 30 minutes. I like where you're going here, Pampered Chef. These are quick dinner ideas. That's good. All right, smoked sausage wraps, serves 4, prep time 10, total time 30. So you guys, are these all quick meals? Well, yes, they are. 35 minutes or less from prep to dinner. That's actually pretty impressive. So without further ado, let's get into the first recipe. Now, the first recipe we're gonna do is the baked fish in foil, and we're just gonna jump right into it. You ready? Okay, we are back, and it is time to put together this fish recipe. So instead of tilapia, I am going to use cod. And I did read over the recipe real quick. So the first thing we're gonna wanna do is we are gonna wanna get some oil on our tin foil. And then we're gonna arrange some potatoes in there. And I have some sliced red potatoes. All right, next the instructions say to put your fish right down on top. And after you put them on top, you're actually putting them up there so it kind of creates a barrier between the foil and the fish, so the fish doesn't stick to the foil. Even though we put oil, it would probably still stick. All right, and then we are going to place the sugar snap peas next to our fish. And then we're gonna finish it off by drizzling 1 teaspoon of oil over it. So I'm gonna use Pampered Chef's handy new oil measurer. I forget what it's called, actually. It just is, it's really cool. It measures out exactly the right amount of oil that I need. All right, and now we're just gonna fold it up to seal it. So it does say that it wants it to be airtight, so let's take care when we fold it up that we get an airtight seal, because I guess we're gonna want to steam that fish in there with those veggies. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's do it to the rest of them. All right, and there we go. This recipe actually makes 4, but I'm only gonna do 2 today because that's everybody that's home today. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put them on a baking sheet and we're gonna get them into a preheated 450 oven for 10 minutes. And while we're waiting for that to cook, we will put together our lemon sauce. Now, here is my first, I don't wanna say discouragement with this recipe. If I was to get this for one of my children, this is actually a recipe that they would never make. And the reason is because the sauce that we're about to make requires 2 extra seasonings that they did not put in our bag. Now, most people, the average person will have these seasonings, but if I was going to subscribe to this and it was supposed to send me all the seasonings I need to make this meal, I probably wouldn't have gone out and bought it as a new chef or a new cook or whatever, because it requires some dill and some garlic powder. Now, garlic powder is one of those things that probably the new home cook would have, but dill definitely not. That is not an average seasoning that people would have. So the only kind of saving grace of this whole, nobody's gonna have dill in their cupboard if you're a new cook, is they have a little line on the recipe that says use tartar sauce instead of lemon sauce. Now, if you were to put that instructions, Pampered Chef, I'm talking to you. If you were to put that instruction up next to the lemon sauce, be like serve with lemon sauce or tartar sauce, here's the recipe for the lemon sauce, or just buy your own tartar sauce, maybe that would be okay. But honestly, this little nitpicky thing seems nitpicky, but it's actually big. That means the 2 of the 3 recipes that they sent in this month's kit would be unusable to at least one of the people that I was thinking about sending this subscription to. That being said, the rest of us kind of normals, not new chefs or new cooks, it will be fine. So we're going to add mayonnaise to our bowl. We are going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of dill and 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Now, I know some of you will probably say, well, they had to go out and get these ingredients anyway. Yes, that is true. However, the chances that a new cook is going to go into the spice aisle and buy a spice that they're only going to use once for this recipe that they may or may not like because it is fish after all. See what I'm saying? There's a little bit of a causes me to question for a moment. And I'm gonna mention, because I'm being honest here, we've made the whole meal and we have yet to use our salt and vinegar. So let's do that now. But this is the only way we're going to use it is in this manner right now. So here I have 1/2 cup of potato chips and we're gonna crush them because this is going to be our topping to our fish. We're actually going to, in 10 minutes, we're going to open that up and we're gonna put this topping on the top of that fish. And to these crushed chips, we're gonna add our salt and vinegar seasoning. It's actually so disappointing to me that I am debating on whether or not to even publish this review of this. Whew, that smells good. Because part of this subscription idea is supposed to be to help people kind of have what they need to make a meal seasoning wise. And I'm literally using someone else's seasonings, even though they're, do you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe, I don't know. All right, so we're gonna add 1 1/2 tablespoons of this salt and vinegar to our bowl here. that smells really good. And we're just gonna give that a nice little stir and wait for that fish to be ready to be topped. So the ease of this recipe, like making this recipe, is indeed novice, this is novice stuff. We're just crunching some things, mixing together, slapping together. It's great in that aspect. However, having to add your own seasonings into and they're odd seasonings. Like if they would have been like salt and pepper and paprika, like taco seasoning, it would have been taco seasoning. Most American families have taco seasoning in their cupboards, but it's not, it's dill. Most people don't have dill in their cupboards unless you like Mediterranean or Greek food, and then of course you have dill. Or if you like making pickles, I mean, just the average, maybe I'm wrong. Tell me, do you have dill in your cupboard right now? That is gonna be an important little note for me, because as I'm learning and adventuring in my kitchen, these are things that I wanna know because, well, for reasons. So do you have dill in your cabinet? And if a recipe called for dill, would you skip that recipe or would you make it? Inquiring minds wanna know. Okay, the 10 minutes is about up, so let's go ahead and get our trivet out so that we can top these fish. Okie doke, here we have our packets, and I'm gonna use my oven gloves so that I can easily open these without burning myself. All right, and being careful not to touch any of the hot pan, we are going to sprinkle our chips right on the top of our fish. All right, and we're gonna get this back into the oven for about 14 minutes or until the potatoes are tender and the fish is cooked. Okay, we are back and our fish and our potatoes are so wonderfully cooked. So they say that's it, that the meal is done. So you're supposed to serve it in the foil packets on the plate. So I'm gonna try to roll the foil packets down just a little bit, and then we'll set it onto the plate. And then we're gonna take some of our fabulous lemon mayonnaise. It smells really good. And there you have it. So let's go ahead and take out one of these potatoes first. And we're just gonna try the potato with nothing on it. They're not cooked. That's a little bit of a problem because my fish is fully cooked. I temped my fish and it was fully cooked. So, what to do? Well, let me taste a bean, see if the beans are done. Yeah, the beans are done enough. Yeah, my fish is done. Okay, well, let's try a piece of the fish. Ooh. That's good. It almost tastes like a little Long John Silversy. It's possible that my potatoes were a little too thick. I could have dialed down my mandolin and made them a little thinner. That was probably my bad. But they're al dente. I mean, they're soft, but they're not totally cooked through. That one was. The one on the end was not. Okay. So let's take a piece of this fish and try it with our lemon sauce and see what we think. Well, it's good. It is very good. And it is definitely, Okay, so this crumble on the top is really fantastic. So I understand why they did that. I still don't understand why they didn't do the tartar sauce with that same seasoning. Maybe they thought it would be overpowering and just tell us to garnish with a lemon. But overall, it's a good flavor in that fish. I'm gonna try it with my potato now. 100% that is a good recipe. If you don't like salt and vinegar though, you would probably not like this crumble on top, but it is so good. And that vinegary flavor is really coming through. This is a recipe that I would make again. The differences that I would do, of course, would be either to make the tartar sauce using the salt and vinegar and the relish and the mayonnaise so that I don't have to use dill, or buy my own tartar sauce or make, a different recipe. And then I would slice my potatoes a little bit thinner because the other vegetables are cooked. Yeah, it's just the potatoes that are a little bit too al dente, just a little, but that's really good. Okay, did you enjoy that recipe? Honestly, as you saw in the video, I was a little skeptical about some things, but by the end, I really felt like that chip crumble and the salt and vinegar was really a good complement to that fish, and I will be using that exact recipe again. So even though there was some of that, spice issues with dill and whatnot, I do think that that is a recipe that I will enjoy as a seasoned cook who has dill in her cupboard. As I mentioned several times, is it for a novice cook? I don't think so. So even though I like the recipe, I don't know that it is ideal for a new cook. So I can't say it's a fail, but I can't say it's a win either, because I really like the recipe, but I don't know if it's for a newly budding chef idea. So anyway, you guys, if you enjoyed that video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. I do videos several times a week, and in just 2 days' time, I'm gonna be doing recipe 2, which is the lemon garlic chicken kebabs. So I hope you'll join me, and I'll see you on the next adventure.